This is the KRUI News at Noon, brought to you in part by the Daily Iowan. This is KRUI, Iowa City.
It is noon in Iowa City. The temperature is 47 degrees, and for KRUI, this is the latest news with Kate Sarmas and Meghan Horihan. Here are the headlines for this Wednesday morning. Bear attacks become a danger in Florida, new updates for the train derailment investigation, and Detroit may be declared formally bankrupt.
But in latest news, it's safe to say spouses have fights at some point in their marriage, but not many would go as far as killing their significant other, and neither would Michael Morton. However, in this case, he was wrongfully convicted for the murder of his wife Christine and served 25 years in prison for it. A group of attorneys found that prosecutor Ken Anderson at the time withheld crucial evidence in the case, including a bandana found behind their home with the DNA of both Christine and the true killer, Mark Norwood. After being released in October, he reunited with his son and has come to grips with the way of all of the time he has lost.
Human error is a common theme this morning, as it could also be deemed responsible for the train derailment that happened on Sunday in New York. While 4 people died in the crash, over 60 people were injured. Even though the train's engineer, William Rockefeller, was in his station as the train chugged on, he may have not been completely awake or concentrated. A professor at the University of Dayton referred to the conductor's sleepy days as twilight, which is common among train crews. The train was traveling at a speed that was 3 times the posted speed limit when the brakes failed.
The game of knockout takes on a new meaning. I'm not talking about the basketball game we played in gym in the 5th grade, but the new, allegedly growing trend going on in states like Illinois, New York, and Pennsylvania. It's a game that happens when young people randomly assault strangers while trying to knock out people with one punch. One man even died from this. It doesn't sound like a very fun game to me, but this has recently received a lot of news coverage from a few viral accounts. While some say it's a phenomenon that has been blown up by the media, but society could be experiencing the copycat syndrome.
The city of Detroit is facing a knockout of their own, with more disappointment in their battle to stay afloat in a sea of debt and deprivation. Federal Judge Stephen W. Rhodes declared Detroit a candidate for formal bankruptcy. In doing so, the city of Detroit is not responsible for paying union contracts and employee pensions because they are only protected under contract, not in law. Unions are expected to file appeals almost immediately, but the reality remains that any cut into its workers' pensions is not only devastating, but could be catastrophic.
UI students coming back from break face the harsh realities of schoolwork and, in some cases, the loss of their possessions. There were 9 cases of burglaries reported when students returned to Iowa City, which is an increase from 3 robberies that occurred in 2012. According to Iowa City Police, this is a common occurrence when students leave for breaks for a long period of time. One such student got game consoles and $700 worth of cash stolen. Windows and doors were both locked, but the door to the apartment was picked open.
Fuzzy Wuzzy wasn't this bear who attacked a woman walking her dog in Longwood, Florida. 54-year-old Susan Chalfant was mauled in the face by the bear and rushed to the hospital, where she is still recovering. Black bears are not uncommon in this neighborhood close to Orlando. However, the unprovoked attacks are. The black bears are often spotted walking down residential streets in search of food, especially on nights before garbage pickup. Longwood is determining new ways to track and identify the bears, but the reality is that the town may be in need of new regulations.
In Hawkeye sports, the Iowa basketball team beat the Fighting Irish 98-83. Although Notre Dame was leading through the first half of the game, Iowa came back to score 13 consecutive points. Notre Dame was no easy competition, but in the end, the Irish may have run out of luck. This is the 9th win for the Hawkeyes, and with only 1 loss under their belt, this could be the start to an impressive season.
Finally, a quick look at the weather forecast for Iowa City. Don't get lost in the midst walking to class or driving to work. There's a dense fog advisory today until 6 p.m. And leave your winter coats at home. Right now, the temperature is 47 degrees with slight humidity. For KRUI News, this is Kate Sarmas.
And Meghan Horihan.
There's too much love to go around these days. You say I've got